This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
Get business done with the new American Express Graphite Business Cash Unlimited card. With unlimited 2% cash back on all eligible purchases, unlimited 5% cash back on flights and prepaid hotels booked through American Express Travel Online, and a flexible spending capacity that can grow with your business, you'll have the confidence to keep building. Apply today and earn a welcome offer of $1,500 cash back after you spend $50,000 in qualifying purchases on your new card within the first 6 months of card membership. Terms apply. Learn more at go.amex/graphite.
And now, a special edition of the Toddcast podcast.
Powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, providing complete financing and mortgage services for residential and small commercial businesses. Visit them at citywidemortgage.ca.
Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
Straight up, 2024 was epic. What a year. From chart-topping musicians, sports legends, entertainment icons. You heard them all on this podcast. And this is it, our final episode of 2024. 9 guests revisiting highlights from their conversations with us, standout moments, candid conversations. I want to say jaw-dropping revelations, but I don't think I want to go that far. Let's just say I went over each interview with a fine-tooth comb and found their A game, and truly some unforgettable moments in sports. 3 guests from the octagon to the mic, an MMA legend from the BC Lions gridiron, an offensive lineman in the trenches, and a recently retired Canadian Olympian. In entertainment, also 3 guests, a scene stealer working with Hollywood icons, a generation expert, and an actress with fearless creativity. And you'll hear this week's musical guests in just a minute. From punk roots to playing arenas, he's a masterclass in reinvention. Another went from one of rock's elite powerhouses, platinum records, sold-out arena tours, to starting his own band. And she tells stories that resonate like an old soul. Love her music. My name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the Toddcast. Something I'm able to do and continue because of the support of our great sponsors. Our title sponsor, Citywide Mortgage Services, are coming up on their 3rd year sponsoring. It kind of goes without saying, if you're buying a house, refinancing, talk to my good buddy Dara. He's one of the owners there, and he'll make sure that you're in good hands. I just went through the process with him myself, actually. My mortgage is coming up for renewal in a couple of weeks, and it was about as simple as you could hope for. Stress-free, personalized too. Dara is a machine. He's been doing it for so long. He knows all the ins and outs, and he's dedicated to making sure he answers all of the questions you may have, regardless of how dumb they are. Found a killer rate for me. Everything was just easy peasy. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Use my circle. That's what this podcast is all about. It's a big family. My network is your network. Just reach out to them. Any of my sponsors, they will take care of you. First-time home buyers, refinancing like I did. Dara and his team are ready to help. Big thanks to Citywide Mortgage Services for believing in what we do here, and for everyone else getting the best mortgage rates possible. So big props to those guys. All right, so coming up shortly in Stop Me, if you've heard this before, LAFC goalkeeper Thomas Hasal, of course, used to play here in Vancouver for the Whitecaps. Thomas talks about realizing his true potential and how his grandfather inspired him. That, for the last time, is powered by FKP MMA. My little guy Levi wants to move more into a team sports direction, so we've decided to move on and find another sport to kind of focus on, like rugby or football, it's sounding like anyway. But trust that FKP is our city, Vancouver's best. They're all about self-defense, building your self-esteem, learn to protect yourself. That's their arena. And big love to Mr. Franco for believing in this podcast as well, because they sponsored for, I think it was 2.5, 3 years. Check them out. Vancouver's #1 training through FKP MMA First, let's get to some musical guest highlights in this Year in Review podcast, all of whom are powered by the Hawkins Sound Ranch. They're also on their last podcast sponsoring, but might come back on again in the new year. Get over 20 years experience. Use their state-of-the-art studio. Hey, I mean, that's what happens with sponsors, right? It's not like they all stay on for 8 years like Tedco RV Supplies or the entire time we've been podcasting like Red Truck Beer. That just happens. So Corey from Hawkins Sound Ranch, he's great at what he does. He's had bands that have toured the cross country thing, got tons of radio play himself, and he's given back, which is super cool to have them on for this year. So think commercial sound on an indie budget. Check them out through the hawkinssoundranch.com. So you heard Billy Idol guitarist Billy Morrison on the podcast in late September, and he's of course been in so many killer projects over the years. Royal Machines, big players in this band. Dave Navarro, Chris Chaney of Jane's Addiction, Josh Freese, of course, now of Foo Fighters. Donovan Leach hosts that band. Camp Freddy, basically that same lineup, different name. Scott Whalen of Stone Temple Pilots was in that band as well. Billy's toured with The Cult. He fronts Circus Diablo. And super cool to get into all sorts of things with Billy. Like we talked about Supermoto, knowing that he's a big fan. The Kansas City Chiefs, Superpowers, the autobiographies that we love, seeing Gary Glitter in concert, getting into music at 10 and finding heroin at 14.
Dude, I was into music when I was 10 years old. My first show was Gary Glitter, which, you can't really tell people that anymore, but it was.
Right. Yeah.
And shortly after that, it was Generation X and The Clash, all the punk movement. I was in love with music. Unfortunately, at 14, someone in the music business that I was so infatuated with, wanted my heroes, you know what I mean? They gave me heroin. And so, yeah. And so I got confused. My love of music got overtaken by my vision of these rock stars. By the way, most of them are dead. Johnny Thunders, Sid Vicious, other than Keith Richards, who's a force of nature, most of them are dead. But I didn't know that at 14. I just knew they were skinny and looked like they didn't care. And that's what I wanted because I was very sensitive. So, I stumbled across heroin at 14, and my love and devotion to music got overtaken. And I came back out of that 15 years later and went straight back to music.
I mean, that is an absolutely crazy story, right? More on Billy's drug use in just a little bit and the happy ending. He was open to talking about, everything. We shared a near-death story. His artwork, Metallica's drummer Lars Ulrich came up. So did his radio show with Ozzy Osbourne, binging Game of Thrones and Baby Reindeer, Aliens, career highlights, sobriety.
I have worked hard. Actually, tomorrow I am 29 years clean and sober.
And
I've worked very hard. And you don't get to 29 years clean and sober without understanding what addiction is and the kind of personality that you have. And once you have that understanding, you can apply it. I mean, these days I'm not sitting here desperately trying not to shoot up, but I still have an alcoholic mind and personality, and that can be applied to anything, sex, money, all kinds of addictive things. But once you understand what's going on, you can work out ways to expel and deal with that kind of stuff. And art and music definitely do that for me.
So is it still a day-to-day thing for you?
Not really, no. I mean, it's an interesting question. The reason it is a day-to-day thing, because the disease of addiction and alcoholism that I have is it never goes away. It just goes to sleep. And if you're not vigilant and you don't keep up with basically helping other people, What I do is I try to be of service to other people, which reminds me how shit my life was 30 years ago, because I'm in close contact with people that are going through it right now. And so on that level, it's a day-to-day thing. But no, I don't think about it, and it's a no-brainer for me. I'm living in a house that I bought with art on the walls that I bought, and somewhat of a career with a, by the way, a top 5 Billboard single right now.
I know, man. Number 4, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, it may be number 3 tomorrow. Who knows?
Is that right? Nice. Wow.
But here's the thing. I didn't have any of that when I was using drugs and being an idiot. So it's really a no-brainer. If I want a quality of life, it's much easier just to not do that.
Yeah.
And be creative.
From Billy Idol's guitarist to Flat Black guitarist Jason Hook, you'll know him from being in Five Finger Death Punch for years. Huge band, #1 song, sold out arena tours around the world, and then he quit the band to start Flat Black with the knowledge of being from a juggernaut of a band.
I learned a lot from being in that band.
Sure.
And I also learned a lot from interacting with an enormous fan base. And so you write stuff, you play it live, you kind of get a sense of like, okay, I see what works, I see what you need, how to get it done, what grabs the people. You just take all that data in over a long period of time. And so when it was time to do Flat Black, it was like, okay, I sort of figured out what it takes and what it requires. And so, I just put it all to work.
Yeah. And nice to be able to self-produce that or co-produce that as well, too. So you're kind of still fingers in the pie, right? Like, it's the way to go.
Well, yeah, I'm sort of a studio rat anyway.
Yeah.
And I have a whole pro studio in my house. And so, and I just learned as I just would practice this stuff. I always do and always have. So I figured, it's time now.
You really do got to give it to Jason, realizing that it's time to move on and actually doing it, leaving a #1 band, writing new music, finding new players, forming Flat Black, recording the album. It's ballsy, and I love it personally. Don't rest on your laurels. Drive yourself, test your limits, and push. It was great to talk to Jason beyond the new band, like COVID. Dealing with that bullshit. Kiss's influence came up. So did some of his career highlights and how he managed to get Slipknot singer Corey Taylor to guest vocals on a song Nothing to Some on Flat Black's debut album.
But you're not going to release Nothing to Some to commercial radio,
Well, yeah, I was just going to bring that up. Like, clearly, Corey Taylor, Slipknot, Stone Sour. He's helps vocals on that track.
Yeah.
Was it just a matter of like, hey, Corey, you want to jump in the studio? And he's like, fuck yeah, bro, I'm in.
He offered to help. So back in 2020, when I was like lost and didn't know what was going to happen and didn't know what to do, didn't have anyone to help me, didn't have anyone to work with. It's amazing how many people, like as soon as you're not in the cool band, how many people are kind of like, I don't know,
Yeah, you probably know. It's interesting that you see the people that you didn't know were in your corner as well. Like I found that when I got let go from the afternoon show at the rock station here in Vancouver and just started up this podcast. I'm 10 years in now, but when I initially jumped ship from radio to go to podcast, like I was like, oh, really? Fuck, that guy's not in my corner. That guy is in my corner. I had no idea.
I expected
the same, right?
I expected some of that, but there was a little bit of reality check. Like, okay, well. I'm not that important now, but that's fine. It's how I feel about me here. That's all that matters. And so I've been up and down in this business a lot of times. And you just have to remember that that's just the way it is right now. So work your way back out of it, but going back to Corey, I met him, like I was working with his producer in Los Angeles, just messing around with some music with Jay Rustin. And all of a sudden, Corey and I are texting back and forth. And he said, what's your plan? What are you going to do? I said, well, I'm going to try to put a band together, make a record. And I said, but I don't have anyone and there's nobody I'm working with right now. I said, well, listen, send me everything you got and I'll help you. You know, I'll help you. So, I mean, what can I say? He's just a really cool dude.
Yeah, I've heard he's amazing. Like just
amazing. Just a really fantastic human being, and really helped me, not just with music, but my spirit. At that time, nobody wanted to touch me, and you know, I couldn't get anyone really to get on board with this idea. And here's this guy saying, "I'll help you, no problem." So it kind of made me like, "Fuck, okay, all right, cool. This is now I feel juiced," you know, really lifted my spirit, and you know, I'll be forever grateful for that, for him, you know.
Like a Slipknot. It's fucking Corey Taylor, man.
Lives 5 minutes down the street from me. And yeah, and what can I say? Probably the most talented guy I've ever worked with. You know, he just shits out greatness, and I hope he sees that.
And from Flat Black's guitarist to a Canadian singer-songwriter, Elena Aaron. You heard her on the podcast mid-November. We've worked with Elena's PR company many times over the years, so when they reached out about talking to Elena, it was kind of a no-brainer. Here's a good Canadian kid, moved over to the UK, carving out a name for herself there, making music and seeing shows, playing shows. Think folk meets pop meets indie, and you'll be getting close. Elena has a very distinct sound, that's for sure. Went to Berklee College of Music after being homeschooled her entire life. What a story.
I was homeschooled my whole life, and that was my first time going to like a school. So I think I was like the teacher's pet for the first like year and a half. I was like, I get grades, I can do this, I get to go to a class like in the movies. This is so cool. Yeah. And then in 2015, over that summer, I'd gone to New York to do internships, and I ended up kind of was like, okay, I got to get life ready for like as soon as I graduate, because I have no idea how I'm going to like, I'll have one year of a visa to like legally stay and work in the country. So I need to like get things happening. And in New York, I felt like more connected. I had found different people to like work with or do internships at, or just was like meeting a lot of people. So my last year of college, I put like all my classes onto 2 days a week. It was actually like mostly staying on friends' couches in New York. Would go to Boston. Like I would take the bus there, do 2 full days of classes, and then bus back to New York, be there the rest of the time. Yeah, I got very little sleep.
And after you hear Elena's story, reading the bio, hearing the music, you definitely want to know more. Like what it was like growing up in a small community in northern BC. Which shows has she been binge watching lately? We talked about inspiration, running marathons. She does that. She shared a near-death story. Aliens and documentaries came up. Worst jobs that she's had. Family. And if it's weird sitting on her new LP, it's called Roaring 20s, and it's not released until March of next year.
It's so weird. I always joke that I feel like I'm like, when you're releasing stuff, it's releasing in the past, because like by the time you've written it and you've been obsessed with it, you're like, this is such a good idea. And then it actually gets out is like a whole other thing. Yeah. These songs, I started writing them actually like in 2021. Oh. I was still releasing my last album and had those songs all kind of coming out. Started writing these, and then I think started recording them in 2022. And kind of working like virtually with my producer, and then like going to his studio a bit. He had just moved to France, so like going there a bit to record some of them. And then early 2023, so early last year, went and like finished recording all the vocals, writing, everything like that. And then as soon as I did that, I was like, I'm so burnt out. I don't even want to look at this project. I don't want to touch it. I don't even know if it's good. Like I'm done. I was just like, I'm done with music for a minute. And like, I'm just going to do some more behind the scenes stuff. I was working with a bunch of other artists, like helping them with songwriting, artist development, all of that. But I just felt like I feel like so much of like the indie artist thing is you're just putting stuff out and just like hoping that one day you'll get a break, and it can be like the burnout is so real of like,
sure,
I don't know what to do. Right. So I was going to like release it last year, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to like give it a minute. And that felt great to do, because then I finally came back to it this year, started the whole like mixing and mastering process. And that was great because I could like hear it with fresh ears. Everything felt better. We were able to make any production changes I wanted. And then I feel like this release has felt like way more sustainable. I'm still doing it all on my own, having to plan all that stuff. But it doesn't just feel like I'm like throwing stuff out in the wind and like, okay, it's out there and I'm too tired to do anything. It's like, okay, I'm putting it out and like I can like get back that excitement about it and like show people how it feels to me and everything like that. But it is weird. It is like, yeah, weird to have it all and have to be like, y'all can't hear it for another 6 months.
Well, the beauty though, of course, Elena, is that, you know, as old as it is for you, it's new to all of us.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be brand new to everybody that tastes it, right?
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. But it's weird. It's weird. Like I've talked to some artists that have said like they literally sit on an album for almost a year before they it's like, what?
But it's like I remember hearing interviews from, and even just artists saying like I'd shown a song to like label people and nobody believed in it, and that was like 10 years earlier, right? Or like,
yeah,
I think that happens so much more than we realize, that like there's something that's been created and it takes so long before it's finally released or comes out.
But it's so good when it finally comes out though.
Yeah.
Toddcast Podcast musical guest visits are powered by the Hawkins Sound Ranch. Use their 20-plus years of experience to record at their state-of-the-art studio. Commercial sound on an indie budget. Visit thehawkinssoundranch.com for more.
Made a career of bombing me, playing cruel jokes on myself, and the pay was buying time. Found the time to make a cry for help. And the cruelty never ends when you're desperate and I don't need nothing now. Don't believe shit and I don't need nothing now. You can leave it and I don't see nothing now. I'm distracted. In a life without denial, some distraction for a while. Try your best to make a shrine, 'cause it's all just passing time. And the cruelty never ends when you're desperate and I don't need nothing now. Don't believe shit and I don't need nothing now. You can leave it and I don't see nothing now. I'm distracted.
The Toddcast Podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca. And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast Podcast.
Most years, you hear a player from the Vancouver Whitecaps on this podcast. As a longtime fan of not only the sport, but of the team, I do my best to grab a player to be a guest. Well, the last time I went to a game Don Andrews, the voice you hear in stadium, toured me and my 2 kids around after the game was done, which was very cool. And when Thomas Hasal was a guest, he was the goalkeeper for the Whitecaps. Of course, now you'll see him as the keeper for the Los Angeles FC. Thomas talked in depth about the game, of course, but opened up with us about all sorts of things, like the music that was in his house as a kid growing up, the shows that he was binge watching at the time, his thoughts on the fake crowd noise at pro sports during COVID. We talked about growing up in Saskatchewan and what's that like, locker room pranks, time travel, comic books, and stop me if you've heard this before. Thomas talked about realizing his true potential and how his grandfather inspired him.
Yeah, it's tough. It was always my dream since as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
I think definitely coming on trial when I was 14 was like, wow, this could be an opportunity and that could lead somewhere one day. And then it really would have been when I was probably 15, 16, when I was like, okay, I really feel like I am good enough to get there and then progress through the stages and get to the next level.
Okay.
Obviously, there was tons and tons of work to be done through there in different steps. Coming into the academy, working through the levels, seeing what the first team was like, being with the youth national teams. And then each one of those, you're like, it's almost turning more and more into a reality. So there's a lot of different spots in your career where you think like, okay, this is definitely something you could do.
Yeah, for sure. And you credit your grandfather for kind of getting you introduced and really ramped for the sport. He was a goalkeeper as well, was he not?
Yes, he was. He was a huge soccer fan, biggest one I know. And he would always watch my games, like playing with the national team. He'd be up in Czech Republic at like 3 a.m. watching on the big screen, no matter what. And he was all in it with me. He definitely introduced me, kind of helped me get a passion for the game. And that would have been one of the best things in the world if he was able to see me play with the first team and play professionally.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by FKP MMA, Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com. And now, highlighting our next Blue Light Sessions, powered in part by Canadian Club Whiskey. Meet your new cold one. We serve Canadian Club and Ginger ready-to-drink cocktails at all of our live shows. Visit canadianclub.com today.
Check 1, 2. Oh, oh. Cool, it used to be true when I was a boy and easily amused. Now I'm grown up, I don't have a clue, but I gotta act like I do. Rules, they sort of follow you everywhere you go. They're
That band is the Vito's, and a very cool song for them called The Pressure. And if you come to our next show next month, in fact, a month away from today, actually, they will headline the night. It's our 10th anniversary party. Year 11 starts next month, 10 years down, check. And we have an excellent night planned for you. Colin Sankey will open up the night. He's basically a bass virtuoso. Seriously, check out his stuff on Instagram. You will be blown away. This kid has massive chops. Cobra Ramon is now part of the night as well. Patrick Gavigan and a bunch of friends as well. If you want to come, check the show out. But for whatever reason, you've never been able to come to a show, now's your chance. Be part of our 10th anniversary party. Would love to see you there. It's halfway sold out though, so grab tickets now. $20 through eventbrite.ca. Event, B-R-I-T-E, eventbrite.ca. Doors are at 7, show starts at 8-ish. I say 8-ish. Played you a new song for closers. That's called Distracted. And here's another band I've been talking to about playing a podcast, Blue Light Sessions. But the thing is, the singer moved to Toronto. So the stars will have to align to make that work. But you never know. Never say never. Coming up in just a few minutes, in Listen to This, former Bellator MMA president Scott Coker talking about who he thinks are the best fighters of all time. That is powered by Ted2 RV Supplies in Langley. RV service, repairs, they are ICBC accredited, and they are 8-year sponsors. Absolutely key. They've taken no breaks. No breaks in that 8-year. Absolutely key to why we've been able to continue making these podcasts over the years. Big love to Tamara and her phenomenal team. You can find them online through Facebook and Twitter at Ted2 RV Supplies. First, back to more guest highlights in this Year in Review podcast and some sporting guest visits powered by Sacred Meds, Canada's best online dispensary for cannabis, psilocybin, psychedelics. You can shop now through sacredmeds.co. Sacredmeds.co. Weed, mushrooms, all kinds of edibles, CBD, DMT, shatter, vapes. If it's fun, you name it, it's probably there. Sacredmeds.co. So you heard retired MMA welterweight champ John Fitch on the podcast in mid-August. He went 14-3-1 in the UFC, was PFL champ. He challenged in Bellator. He's a great follow on social media if you're not already on board. Lots of MMA advice, lots of MMA talk. The dude clearly speaks his mind.
No, I was treated much better with, WSOF and Bellator, but with WSOF, they only offered me fights like every 9 months. And that was one of the reasons why I left was because the last promotional agreement I signed with them, I forced them to sign a clause saying that they would offer me a fight every 6 months at least. So I was guaranteed at least 2 fights a year because I wanted at least 2 fights a year because once every 9 months is not doing anything,
Right.
You're not making money. If you're not in the public eye, you're going to have trouble with sponsors, all of that. So when they breached that contract, I was like, well, hey, you can either pay me the money for the fight you didn't give me, or you can give me a fight right now, and or you can let me go. And they said, where are you gonna go? I said, bye. And they released me.
You
and I
may
went
be
to
the
Bellator.
biggest game, but you're not the only game. Like, give me a break, right?
There are still places that could, because they weren't paying me that great. So there are still places to go where I could have made as much money or not.
Right. And John, I read something that they had let you go out of the contract because you weren't letting them use your name and likeness in a video game.
That was 2008.
What happened there?
That was 2008. That was 2008 after the GSP fight. So I went 8-0 in the UFC.
Right.
I had 50% finish rate, and then I got a title shot with GSP. After I was like a 16 fight win streak total. I was a consensus number 2 in the world for 5 or 6 years. And then finally I won enough fights to get put into a position to fight for the title. We fight, I lost. It was a fight of the night. And then they tried to make us sign a video game agreement for $0 for lifetime ownership of our name and likeness.
Oh, $0. That's
$0. $0.
Right.
There's also, there's also merchandising agreement that was also going around at that time. And I wasn't the only guy not signing. Like, they were having a hard time getting anybody to sign. So they used me as a a whipping boy, I guess. Sure. They used me as the example. Look at this guy. He's done this well. He's this successful. He's this top guy. He said no to us. He got cut because they didn't come and talk to me. They didn't say anything to me. They released me and went to the press. So I woke up in the morning and my phone's blown up. I had no idea that I got cut.
Wow.
Right. I hadn't even talked to my manager. I had messages from people who read it in the news, like read it from it's not even journalists, they're PR. They work for the promotion.
Yeah.
So it was just hit piece after hit piece, not even in support of me. It was all like in support of UFC, and like they were doing a good thing. And I had plenty of fighters who contacted me and told me like that scared them into signing because they're like, oh man, like I'm no John Fitch. Like, what are they going to do to me if I don't sign?
If they're doing that to John, like, what are they going to do to me?
So then all these guys started signing the merchandising agreement and signing their life away to the video game agreement.
Wow. Dude, that's crazy, man. You'd think that they'd at the very least offer something like just because you're with us, you need to do it. Like, that's garbage, man. Wow. That's crazy.
You're not a company man. You got to support the company. We're all in this together. And then they sell the company for billions of dollars and the fighters didn't get anything out of it.
That's crazy, dude. And like, of course, like you're saying, like that's right after the GSP fight. And like at that time, man, you are like one of the superstars in UFC.
And then after that moment, it was just an all-out war to get rid of me and smear me.
The thing is, John started his career at light heavyweight, eventually moved up to welterweight, and he's one hell of a career in MMA, arguably one of the best to ever do it, and open to talk literally about anything I threw his way. We talked about Pantera, Tom Petty, Tool, Cheech and Chong, George Carlin, superpowers, football, sports injuries. We got him to share a near-death story, and John talked about binge-watching fights with his wife and how they love true crime documentaries.
She's great. She has more fight knowledge than most people
she schooled both of us.
Yeah, exactly. She knew exactly who I was talking about.
You guys still go to actual fights?
Oh, sorry. What was that?
Do you go to like actual fights? You go to the arena? Or
I haven't been to any in a while, but okay. I usually watch from home. I haven't traveled to go watch a fight. I went to some of the Bellators that were here in town. But it's been a little while since I've gone out to a fight.
Yeah.
Just busy with life and kids and stuff, so I haven't got to go to a lot. We watch some crime dramas and stuff.
Oh, okay.
We binge watch those sometimes.
Like the true crime, where you're like, holy shit!
True crime type of stuff. We watched one that was tell them you love me. This professor lady was hooking up with a guy with multiple sclerosis and like trying to pretend that he was like saying that he loved her and things, and she was like holding his hand while he typed the T keyboard, and it's weird. Wow. It was a weird documentary.
There's a lot of really weird shit like that on right now.
She's a crazy person. Yeah. And what was one of the other ones we watched? Was it The Lie? What's the one with the sick girl that isn't sick? Yeah, Gypsy Rose. What's the name of that one? Oh, there's one. It's a story. It's a true story. This girl, Gypsy Rose, her mom made her think that she was sick, and they got all these like donations, and they got to travel to Disneyland, and she shaved her head, and
oh no,
yeah,
true story too.
and then we didn't get to the end of it yet, so I don't 100% know, but I have an idea of what happened. But like, they found the mom stabbed like 50 some times.
Oh shit!
Like she lied about her birth certificate, like when she was born, so she could keep her a minor longer, so she could keep like controlling her.
Wow.
That's a wild. It was a wild show. We watched a bunch of stuff like that. Yeah.
It's easy to get pulled into that sort of stuff though, right?
It's bizarre. And some of it makes me mad though, because there's like one thing that if they told you in the first 15 minutes, be like, oh, I figured it out. You don't understand. But then they save it till like the 7th episode.
Of course.
Like 7 3-hour long episodes, and they give you the one thing. Like, you're like, wait a minute. If they just would have said that in the beginning, there's no.
It's like a half-hour show, man. Like
exactly.
We'll take it from a retired MMA champ to an offensive lineman for your BC Lions, Andrew Peirson. He jumped to Zoom with us at the beginning of October to be a guest. Kid's a beast, 6'3", 300 pounds. More on that in just a sec. Grew up in Kingston, Ontario. Played football for 4 years at Gannon University. Made 9 starts as junior in 2016. Multiple Division II academic awards and a Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference Scholarship Award. He beat the odds in 2018, an undrafted free agent, and now he's 6 seasons with the Lions. So at 6'3", 300 pounds, what's his nutrition intake? What's he got to eat daily to keep that size?
I would say 6'3" is a little generous. I don't know where that came from, but it's just stuck with me. Yeah. I'm about 6'2" in a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe 6'2.5" on a good day, but with my focus on, but yeah. But 300, yeah, I'm sitting around 305, 310.
Okay.
You know, I kind of fluctuate around there.
Like, dude, I'm 6'1", 230, and like I'm usually bigger than most guys, and I'm just trying to wrap my head around another inch and a half and like 70 pounds, man.
Yeah, it's funny. I always win at the carnival games when people try to guess my weight, because everyone looks at me and goes like, oh, 270, 275. I'm like, oh no, I'm, you know, and as the season progressed, your weight kind of fluctuates too. So that's kind of like something that I've kind of figured out how to manage older in my career and having to do a lot of maintenance on it. But yeah, like I feel the most healthy I feel is in that range of 305 to 312, 315 at the most. Just because your body starts to feel it too when you're holding that weight and moving around.
Yeah. So like, what's your nutritional calendar? I'm not even really sure how to say this, but like, what are you eating every day? Like, what's your biggest meal? Do you fast?
Yeah, no, I figured out when I'm in my weight loss program, like I kind of have the bigger meals earlier in the day because my training and even football, like everything's structured to the mornings. So I like to have a lot of carbs and calories in the morning. So like I'm a big fan of like Greek yogurt, a scoop of protein, granola, and some fresh berries, and maybe some chia seeds or something like that for some extra fiber in the morning. And then lunch is when we're in season. Most of the days they're provided here, so you just pick what meal you want. So, but they're nutritious meals. Like they're like little like the meal prep bowls that they just make those massive. So, you know, today I had like pesto chicken, pasta, but you know, there's barbecue chicken, all this kind of stuff. And then at night it's a little lighter, probably a heavy protein, less carbs, because at that point I really need the carbs at that point. Yeah, it's just finding something you like. But like for me, like my workouts and my football days, like you're talking about a lot of calorie burn. So I'm not as conscious about it, but it's more like we just finished up a bye week where we're not playing. So it's like understanding when I'm putting my body that week when I'm not burning, call it 2,000 calories at a workout or a practice. So
regardless, Andrew says it's more like 6'2.5". Thing is, if you're getting up to damn near 300 pounds, you are a big kid. As you would expect, we talked a lot of piggy with Andrew. We talked about locker room pranks, getting ready for other teams, potential to go pro. But we got into other parts of his life as well, like seeing My Chemical Romance in concert. We talked about Rings of Power and The Office. Deadpool and Wolverine came up. He also shared a near-death story. And Andrew talked about being nominated again for the CFL's Tom Pate Award for Community Service. He didn't win. It went to Adam Bighill, who you've also heard on this podcast.
Yeah, I've always kind of had this mentality that I've taken so much from great coaches, community leaders, like a bunch of people around me that like I feel like that I'm in this position now. I try to give back as much as that I've taken. I'd like to think that I'm starting to, you know, or maybe get to that point where I've given back as much as I've taken, but and I get so much like intrinsic role. Like I get that feeling like, you know, when we're in this period where, you know, your body hurts and you're beaten down, you're studying the same film, you're, you know, all these little things, it becomes kind of daunting. But when you go out to a kid's practice and the kids swarm you asking you for your autograph, you remember like, you know, I was in that position not too long ago. And now that I'm here, like, this, and so intrinsically, like selfishly, I do get a lot from doing these events, like going to sick kids and visiting with sick children. Like that perspective change, like all these things, like, for me, as much as that, I like everyone thinks that, oh, you're such a good guy for doing this. Like for me though, it's that perspective change, or, reinstilling how important what I'm doing is, and like how cool what I'm doing is, when you feel like, oh, I just want to, like, I want to wake up, I just want to like heal my body in bed for a day, and you're like, all right, I need to go work out, I gotta do this, like let's keep pushing. So it's a great honor. It's a great honor that my teammates voted me in again for, I think this is the fourth time that all the work it's noticed. I think it's a great honor because there's a lot of people that also on my team do a ton of work. So for me to be the person that's representing our team is awesome, because like I said, there's so many people that could have won this award that I think are truly worthy of it as well.
And we'll take you from one of the O-line of the BC Lions to her recently retired Canadian beach volleyball champ, Sarah Pavan. She jumped to Zoom with us in early November, only days before she announced her retirement from the sport. And can you believe Sarah didn't play beach volleyball competitively till she was 26 years old?
I started playing beach when I was 26.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't know anybody that was really playing the sport. I had heard that a Canadian team got close for London. And so I reached out to that girl, Heather Bansley, just inquiring to see if anybody would potentially be looking for a partner, somebody to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I'll play with you, which was not my intention at all in reaching out to her. It was more just like an information gathering kind of reach out. And so we played together.
And what's your strongest part of your game, do you think?
Technically speaking, or aside from that?
Both.
I would say if we're looking at skills, in beach volleyball, my best skill is blocking. If we're looking at intangible things, I would say it's the way I can analyze the game and my competitive spirit. I never think I'm going to lose.
Well, at that level, you almost have to believe you can win every single game, right?
Yeah, because otherwise, what are you doing there?
Like, what are you doing otherwise? Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't go into a match believing you're going to win, like, why are you playing?
Right? It's crazy to think 26 seems old to make the move from indoor volleyball to the beach, but Sarah proved it can be done. And why not, I guess? It's not like she didn't have accolades at that point of her life. Her Coles notes are legendary. College volleyball at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln was most outstanding player at the 2006 NCAA Div 1 women's tourney. She was the Honda Sports Award winner in 2007, the Honda Broderick Cup in 2006 and 7, the AVCA National Player of the Year in 2006, three-time Player of the Year at the Big 12 Conference between 2005 and 7, graduated with a perfect 4.0 GPA, part of Team Canada's women's national volleyball team at the 2010 World Championships in Japan, qualified for the 2016 Summer Olympics, won gold at the 2018 Commonwealth Game, gold at the 2019 Beach Volleyball World Championships, fourth at Huntington Beach, more gold medals, more world championships, part of Canada's Olympic team in 2020, the Tokyo COVID Olympics. She talks how odd being there and that was. She actually talked about so many things. Super interesting conversation with Sarah, talking about Marvel movies and superpowers, playing soccer as a little kid, meeting Donald Sutherland, the music of the Eagles and the Beatles. We talked about superstitions, binging Gilmore Girls and Love is Blind, talked about seeing John Mayer in concert, and where she sees herself in 5 years, those short-term goals.
Oh, 5 years. That's a way. Feels like it's far, but it's really not.
It's not, yeah.
I mean, I will be done with volleyball. I feel like I might have a kid. I don't know. I've gone this long without a child. I don't know. Do I want one or not? That's something I should probably figure out.
Probably. Yeah.
But yeah, I will be connected to the sport in some way.
Yeah.
Whether it's in, you know, a media capacity or helping kids or coaching or whatever, I will be connected to the sport. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know the specifics.
Toddcast Podcast sporting guest visits are powered by Sacred Meds, Canada's best online dispensary for cannabis, psilocybin, and psychedelics. Shop now at sacredmeds.co.
Hey, what day is it? Is it a Friday? Or is it 1956? Should I let you tell me what to wear? Bring a whiskey to your favorite chair. Is it a Friday? Or is it 1956? I won't let this slide. No, not this time. 'Cause it's my voice, my song, my body. It's my choice who I love. It's my lobby. Sometimes there's not another side. And who are you to draw the line to my voice, my song? It's my body. Yeah, it's my voice, my song. It's my body. Oh, oh. What would your daughter say if you told her that you'd signed her rights away? It's not your place to cherry pick the parts of me you think that fit in your picture of a better 1956. I'm so sick of you, 'cause it's my voice, my song, my body. It's my choice who I love. It's my lobby. Sometimes there's not another side. Who are you to draw the line to my voice, my song? It's my body. Yeah, it's my voice, my song, my body. Oh, my body. Hey, it's my voice. Oh, 'cause it's my voice, my song, my body. It's my choice who I love. It's my lobby. Sometimes there's not another side. And who are you to draw the line to my voice, my song? It's my body.
Red Truck Beer. Nothing delivers like a red truck. Official beer of the Toddcast Podcast.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast Podcast.
Fight fans know that it's the UFC and Bellator MMA at the top. And if you're a fighter, it's the pinnacle. It's where you want to fight. Bellator MMA specifically formed in 2008. At the time, the UFC was, without question, the big dog on the block. By late 2011, Viacom bought a majority stake in Bellator and started putting on fights on Spike TV. They've been side by side with the UFC along the years, upping their game to compete. And you can place much of their success on their former president, Scott Coker, the man helping put together great fight cards. And when Bellator was sold this year to PFL, Scott didn't transition over with the new ownership, and he resigned as CEO. But when Scott was a guest, we had him answer an impossible question. Who are the best fighters of all time, pound for pound? Listen to this.
That's a good one. I mean, if you think about the greatest of all time, I think that Fedor Emelianenko is the guy that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is, I'm sure you know, Pride, back in the heyday when Fedor was on that winning streak, they had the best fighters in the world. And they were the biggest league in the world at that time. And that's why they got bought. So for him to go on an undefeated winning streak, beat all those killers that he's fought, I think that he deserves to have that legendary status of greatest of all time. Pound for pound today? Whew, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I mean, I think that, you got to put Conor's name in there because of his victories. But I think that, I think that when I think about our guys here, I mean, I think we're one of the most underrated, I think this guy would beat anybody in the 170-pound weight class in any league.
Right.
And that's Douglas Lima. Pound for pound's a tough one.
It is
that's a tough one to gauge, but the greatest of all time, in my opinion, is Fedor.
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies.
Memory's a funny thing. It can leave you when you need it the most. Makes you almost anything. Makes you victim, makes you host. They don't even know your name. Time is of the essence, they say. Never gonna be the same when you get back to the start. Swipe right again. 'Cause I never wanted to hold you more than I do right now. 'Cause you're digging your own grave and you can't get out. 'Cause you're easy love. It doesn't matter no more, no less. You're easy love. There wasn't much to say. You're easy love. It doesn't matter no more, no less. You're easy love. Whoa, love can be a funny thing. It can leave you when you need it the most. Yeah. Makes you almost anything. Makes you victim, then you ghost. They don't even know your name. Time is of the essence, they say. Never gonna be the same when you get back to the start. Swipe right again. I never wanted to hold you more than I do right now. I tried to say those words, I tried, but they don't come out. I never wanted to hold you. What you gonna do for now? 'Cause you're digging your own grave and you can't get out. 'Cause you're easy love. It doesn't matter no more, no less. So easy love. There wasn't much to say. 'Cause you're easy love. It doesn't matter no more, no less. You're easy love.
Without a doubt, one of the best voices in Vancouver, doesn't matter what genre you're talking about. Remember earlier I was telling you that Patrick Gavigan is part of our 10th anniversary party at the Blue Light Studio in East Vancouver next month. Of course, Patrick fronts that band. They're called Best Night Ever, and that's a song called, great song for them. It's called Easy to Love. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much, but Patrick is coming down to do something extra special for the night again. The Vito's headline, Cobra Ramon is there, Dave Gorman from Freeborn Soul is going to be there. Colin Sankey will open up the night. Stoked to have such a wicked party planned for you. January 31st. Tickets available right now through eventbrite.ca. Don't snooze. As mentioned, we're over halfway sold now. So eventbrite.ca. Eventbrite.ca. All right, you heard Kara Bateman as well, and this is one of the best indie songs of 2024. It's called 1956. Kara's fantastic. She opened up a podcast show. Emily Malloy headlined that night. It was a few months back, I guess now, maybe 3-4. And it was just so damn good. So much so that Kara and I have been talking about doing another show together. Likely it won't happen until, I don't know, the summer, June, July, August. It'll be in the summer probably. Speaking of live music, check out the concert calendar at toddhancock.ca. If you're playing a show, if you're going to a show and it's indie, let me know about it. I will get it up at the site, get some free advertising for the show, maybe play a song on the cast. Of course, that would mean you would need to get me your music as well. I would love to hear what you're working on. And while you're there, while you're at toddhancock.ca, check out all of our featured news, all of which is powered by the Home Dwell Group, longtime friends of the podcast. In fact, one of the guys in that group, Kyle, I've known literally since grade 6. If you're buying a home, selling your house, contact them today. They'll make it simple. homedwell.ca. homedwell.ca. Okay, our final guests of this episode 353 is our entertainment guests, all of whom are powered by good friends, Thrive Management. They're an amazing event staffing agency here in Canada. In fact, one of our biggest, one of our best models, brand ambassadors. We're talking operations, sales, TV, film, trade shows, home maintenance. They literally work in major cities across the country. If you need help with your next event, look no further. Talk to Sasha. She'll set you straight. Thrivemanagement.ca. Actress Sasha Neboga was a guest in mid-August. She was doing press for her film, Knox Goes Away, where she starred as Al Pacino's wife on screen. A crazy good role for her. And when her PR team reached out about interviewing her, I don't know if there's any more obvious person to interview when it comes to guests. Chances are you'll best know Sasha from her role as Sydney McMillan on Chicago Fire. But you'll recognize her from other roles as well, like Blue Bloods, Criminal Minds Beyond Borders, NCIS Los Angeles, Velvet Prozac. So what does one do after starring in a movie alongside Al Pacino and Michael Keaton? What's next for Sasha?
It's really been an interesting period because, one, you have the pandemic, like, all production basically halts, or, I did Chicago Fire during the pandemic, and we had to pause production for, I think, like 2 to 3 weeks. It was very just start and stop. Mm-hmm. And then coming out of that, for me, the war in Ukraine started, and I am born in Ukraine. I still have half my family out there. So
right. Wow.
That happened in February, and I couldn't rationalize being in a creative space while, my country faced their mortality. So I just decided to step away completely. And my manager at the time, she knew, she kind of gave me the space, and she came across this script for Knox Goes Away, kind of slid it tentatively towards me and said, if you're interested, let me know. Yeah. And I saw Michael Keaton was attached to the project. I read the script, and I thought the characters were just incredibly developed. And I said, you know what? Let me just try. This is the first project I was really excited about, that entire year, and it worked out. And yeah, and then the strikes happened. So everything right now is just, I think, again, picking up. I think there's a lot of great projects coming out, but yeah, in all reality, like I'm back to auditioning, just nonstop. So we'll see. I'm excited to see how it goes, but I also do photography. So I've had the opportunity to shoot Elijah Woods recently, Sophia Boutella. So that's kind of my own little passion project there. Yeah. So fly by the seat of my pants is, I think, fairly accurate.
Pretty accurate, yeah.
It really is pretty cool, hey, working with a couple legends. Sasha was born in Kiev, Ukraine, immigrated to the U.S. shortly after, grew up in New York City, went to the School of American Ballet, took acting in high school, signed with Elite Model Management. Another super fun conversation, getting into the music that was in her life as a kid growing up, like ABBA and Queen. She talked about seeing Mike Snow in concert, U2, and that crazy fame, Batman and Black Widow, how she's a fan of football, the shows that she's been binge watching lately, and the fact that she doesn't like to watch the shows and movies that she's in.
I hate watching myself. I don't know if we've evolved to the point where it's just, I don't think we're wired to, sit back and watch ourselves. Like it's
same for me. Like when I make my podcasts and stuff, cause I have 3 guests every week, right? Like you're going to be one of 3 guests in the podcast when I put it out.
Okay.
But I put it together, but I never push play and listen to the whole hour and a half. You know what I mean? I just don't do that.
I'm really glad. Well, I've watched your podcast. I think you look great. If that's any assurance, and that's, I guess, other people, they're, I guess it's just a being a fly on the wall. They're not as attached to the situation. So, we have our own, whatever insecurities or perceptions of who we are. And I think it just, we spiral out just observing, how could we have done this better?
Yeah. You don't like it, but you do watch it though. Please tell me you watch your stuff.
I do. Actually, I was nervous going into the premiere of Nugs Goes Away.
Yeah.
But you know what? I sat through the whole movie, and at the end of it, I'm like, I did pretty good. Okay. So it was definitely assuring. That was, it was a really nice moment.
That's cool. And who'd you go with?
I went with my fiance. So he loved it, I think.
Oh, he's got to be super proud. Oh my God. You're freaking with Al Pacino and Michael Keaton. It's nuts. Like 2 huge names.
He's actually Samoan, and he's first generation, but his mom, who I love, like she's been obsessed with Al Pacino. I mean, she grew up with him, watching him.
Yeah.
And sure. I think she's honestly my biggest fan. I mean, she just screamed when she found out, and then she's just looking for like any update. So it's really nice. It's really sweet. But I think he's got a crush on Michael Keaton now.
Yeah.
After seeing him at the premiere, and I did give him warning. I'm like, he's incredible. He's phenomenal. He's clever. He's witty, self-deprecating, but in a really classy way.
We'll take you from a rising Hollywood actress to a generation expert named Mandy Stans. Mandy was a guest in early October. We follow each other on Instagram. She's got a great online presence. She's just super fun, super engaging. And being a Gen Xer myself, of course, I agree with most of what she posts. We're not baby boomers. We're not millennials. We're definitely not Gen Z. We had Watergate, the Cold War, economic recessions, the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. And how crazy, think about that. How crazy was that? We watched it in school, on TV, watching it blow up. And I remember, and I was just thinking like, Okay, now we got to go back to learning fractions or whatever. Oh, that was terrible. Okay, class, everybody open up your textbooks to page 14. We talked with Mandy about everything that makes Gen X superior. We're the be at home when the lights come on generation. We fended for ourselves. We traveled in packs. We did shit that we knew we weren't supposed to do. We were the first generation to have home personal computers, gaming systems. And as Gen Xers, most of us have a really good first concert story.
Well, my first concert was actually Gordon Lightfoot. I went with my parents. They dragged me and my sister. I don't know why they decided to do this, but I think I was about, I want to say 6. And so that makes my sister only 3 at the time. And Gordon Lightfoot played locally in Sudbury at the Sudbury Arena. And my parents brought us, and I hated it. I have a distinct memory of laying down across the seats while other people are standing up, just hating life. But, you know, I don't think Gordon Lightfoot's quite the choice for a 6-year-old as their first concert.
Not really, no. I mean, no.
But then as kind of like an older appreciator of music, my first really big concert was actually Van Halen and Alice in Chains in Toronto. That was about 1991. I want to say.
Yeah.
The For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge tour. It was great.
That was a crushing night, of course.
Yes, it was great. And I can't believe my parents let me take a bus with strangers on a 4-hour trip down to Toronto to a concert when I was 16. But hey, I did, and it was fun. So
I wonder how many Canadians' first concert was Gordon Lightfoot. Like, how CanCon is that? Mandy grew up in Sudbury, Ontario, so Gordon, I guess, really shouldn't be that much of a surprise. He was from Orillia. Of course, he passed away in 2023. We talked about so many things with Mandy. 80s hair bands came up, aliens, binging Beef on Netflix, how music videos on Friday Night Videos were game changers for the bands. We talked about Aerosmith, the Will Smith slap, near-death stories came up, the Jane's Addiction fight, going to see the Raptors live, and Dave Grohl's baby outside of his marriage came up as well.
I don't know. I just did a post the other day about, you know, the whole Dave Grohl thing. And it's just funny that we even know that about him now, right? Like,
it's funny that he posts that on his page though, too, right? Like, it makes me wonder what, like, did somebody say, like, you need to do that? Like, you need to be the person that's how people find out?
Definitely getting out in front of it, letting, you know, hearing it from the horse's mouth, you know what I mean? Instead of finding out secondhand information. And that's how we found out, like you said, when we were kids. We didn't know things about celebrities back in the day. We knew what was published in the teen magazines we knew what we saw on Much Music or MTV. But aside from that, there was no connection to celebrities. And you know what? I think I kind of liked it better that way. It's because you could build this person up to the fantasy figure that you want them to be and just believe that to be true. But now we know the actual truth, and it's sometimes a little bit disconcerting. So I don't know about you, but I just kind of try to stay away from the reality and just enjoy the music for what it is.
Yeah, I try to, but it's really hard to sometimes, you know?
Yeah, it is hard to overlook some things.
Totally, right? Like, you'd never think if somebody had said in like 1990 that we would know about all of our favorite bands quicker than Spin Magazine or Rolling Stone or Circus or, you know, any of those magazines, you'd be like, nah, that's just never going to happen. It's just never going to happen.
No, like we wanted to. You know, sometimes you want to know all these things, and then when you have the access to the information, you wish you didn't. So it's kind of ironic in that way, I guess.
And we'll take it from a generation expert to an award-winning filmmaker and actress named Cybil Lake. She was a guest in mid-November, and another easy booking. You got to love when PR teams reach out to schedule things. And the credentials kind of speak for themselves. A degree in film and TV from the NYU Tisch School of the Arts, writer, director, starred in numerous films and TV shows, The Blacklist on NBC, The Following on Fox, Girls on HBO. Cybil was working on her latest project, a half-hour dramedy series called Malibu Mother of Two, and she was doing some press around that.
I'm a mom. I have 2 boys. I moved from to LA. That's very similar. But there's the drama of her, the real reason she moves to LA or tries to come to LA for a little while is she's trying to renegotiate the open marriage she thought she wanted. And that's not true in my life. I remember I had a friend who had an open marriage, and I was kind of fascinated. And I always knew, as a creator, I thought, like, okay, that's like going to be something with drama, and I'm going to explore that in a story form.
Sure.
You know, a husband and 2 boys, that's enough chaos for me.
Totally right. I'll stop there. Yeah, I feel that. I've got 2 kids. I've got 2 boys as well. Wife and 2 kids.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're older. So that's where the inspiration of that came from. So she goes to LA under the guise of a new job, but really she's there to close the open marriage. And her husband, now that his life is going great, isn't really interested anymore right now. Okay. Sort of separated.
You know, it turns out Cybil's new series is actually an adaptation of her short film of the same name, and it's got lots of recognition this year. Quarterfinalist in the 2024 Table Read My Screenplay competition, finalist in the Palm Springs International Trailer Contest, Silver Award winner at the Independent Short Awards in LA, Best TV Pilot, Best Actress wins in the Independent Short Awards in LA as well. Great to get outside of what Cybil is known for too, though, and talk about seeing Jethro Tull in concert, Alien Visitation, Rhode Island Beach Culture, Sesame Street came up, Drew Barrymore, the Transformers movies, Neil Young and Cat Stevens, moving from New York to LA.
I've had that for years because I lived in New York for 24 years and every block is filmed. But now I've been here in LA for about 5 years. And you know, it's funny that I recognized in New York and the restaurants, and it's changing, you know? And so I recognize as much.
Do you like LA as much as you like New York?
I mean, New York is an incredible place, right? It's an extraordinary city, the pulse, the energy. It's just one of a kind, one in the universe, right? But I have 2 young boys, and so I think living here is better. But at first, when I came here, I realized how much New York City was giving me. Like, it kind of gave me this energy and this spark, and it's like this, anything's possible. LA is different. It's beautiful. It's spacious. You've got the mountains and the ocean, you know, but it's very different, you know?
Yeah. I'm not wearing a Los Angeles Dodgers cap.
I'm really surprised by this hat.
Who doesn't love the Yankees? I don't know if I could trust you if you don't like the New York Yankees.
I think actually tomorrow my husband wants to go to a Dodgers game.
Talkcast Podcast entertainment guest visits are powered by Thrive Management, an event staffing agency that provides staffing services across Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, Ottawa, and all of BC. Find out more at thrivemanagement.ca.
I am the blood, never the vein.
Oh man, I cannot wait for the 10th anniversary party of the podcast. Cobra Ramon, Never Survive. Cobra is part of the night. She's going to play a couple songs. I know that she and the Vitos have been talking with each other and kind of dialing up that part of the night. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure what's happening with Cobra, but she has agreed to be part of the festivities. And if you've ever seen Cobra Ramon, you know that she is one of Vancouver's best. A brilliant singer, a brilliant performer, stoked for this night. The Vito's headline, as mentioned, Colin Sankey will open up the night. Patrick Gavigan and friends as well. Going to be one hell of a show. Just $20. It's a steal of a deal. Grab a ticket now before they're all gone through eventbrite.ca. Event, B-R-I-T-E, eventbrite.ca. And with that, we're going to put this one to bed. The final Toddcast of 2024 on the last day of the year. We're going to take a couple of weeks off here, a quick recharge of the batteries, come back swinging. Let's come back strong in mid-January. Singer-songwriter Shab, weight loss coach Molly McKennedy, and men's dating coach Blaine Anderson are the first guests of 2025. Of course, big thanks to all of our guests this year. Obviously, we had way more than what we were able to showcase this and last week with the year in reviews. We just don't have time to spotlight everybody, but it goes without saying, we're super thankful that they took the time to jump a Zoom and be a guest. So let's call this one done. Episode 353. Once again, my name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for listening, for being there. If you like what you heard, please do tell your friends about us. It's a big way of how we grow. We are part of the Realm.fm network, Realm.fm. Check those guys out. They're very cool. Lots of nonfiction, lots of fiction podcasts. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, pretty much wherever you get your podcasts, I guess. I don't know that we're everywhere, but we're lots of places. Of course, all of the videos that we do are posted up at our YouTube channel. Comment and rate the podcast. That's a big help as well. Search us out through what else? Toddcast podcast. Huge thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast with your business, you can for as little as 10 bones a day. Contact info is at the homepage. And do keep in mind, if you help us find a sponsor, we will give you a commission. It's literally that easy. So have a great New Year's, a safe one with friends and family, and we'll see you next year. Till next time, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast podcast, powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, dedicated to helping you find the best mortgage rates. Available 7 days a week at citywidemortgage.ca.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you're going to love our podcast, Disney Countdown. Hi, I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And Biscuits, I'm Jeremy, aka Jarendell, and we are the hosts of the hit Disney podcast, Disney Countdown.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show, right, Jeremy?
Ooh, girl, you know we are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you are looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you ever watch a TV show set in a historical time period and think, how accurate is this really? But also, does it matter if it's accurate or not?
Nefr-TV is a new podcast about shows set in ancient times. This season, we're recapping every episode of the show Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
I'm Ann Foster, and I have never seen this show before.
And I'm Gina Berry, and I have watched this show maybe too many times.
Join us every other Monday on the Nefr-TV podcast as we discuss the real history behind Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
Follow Nefr-TV, that's Nefr-TV, wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, please, not that music. That music gives me nightmares from my childhood.
Could we get something a little bit lighter, some lighter music here?
Are you a fan of true crime TV shows?
And what about Unsolved Mysteries, the show that jump-started all of our love of true crime?
I'm Ellen Marsh.
And I'm Joey Taranto.
And we host I Think Not, a true crime comedy podcast covering some of the wildest stories from your favorite true crime campy TV shows all the way to unsolved mysteries.
Baby, you will laugh, you will cry, you'll think about true crime in a whole new way, and you'll also ask yourself, who gave these people mics?
New episodes of I Think Not are released every Wednesday with bonus episodes out every Thursday on Patreon.
And every Monday, you can listen to our True Crime Rundown, where we go over the top true crime headlines of the week.
So come and join us wherever you listen to your podcasts.